Husam Zomlot, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Palestine ambassador to the United Kingdom. First up, so more than 600 Israelis dead, more than 300 Palestinians dead. We're only 48 hours into this assault. Do you support this operation by Hamas, which it would seem is only heading in one direction? That is more death, more injury, more destruction, particularly to Gazans, young and old.
Hello, Nick. This is the wrong question, really. The right question, and allow me, is do I support my people's quest for the last 100 years for liberation and for ending this occupation and for their very legitimate rights of self-determination and return? Yes. Do I understand the international position? No, I don't. And I think we need to discuss that first and foremost. History did not begin only 48 hours ago in Gaza and around Gaza. History began here, in fact, in this very capital 106 years ago, when Britain, with the US and the West, decided to give away our land without consulting us. The Balfour Declaration, denying us even the definition of peoplehood and nationhood. In the Balfour Declaration, it was declared that we were the non-Jewish minorities, when in fact we were more than 96% of the population owning the vast majority of the land. And then it continued during the British Mandate of Palestine. They were committed contractually with the League of Nations to prepare us for statehood, and then again they denied us our right of self-determination and statehood. And until this very day, and hearing your correspondent just earlier, the West continues to do the very same. Denial that the Palestinians have equal rights, complete siding with Israel, and absolutely what we are going to witness in the coming hours and days is going to be heinous. Mass murder will occur. Netanyahu has already declared to the world that he will target civilians. He will wipe Gaza off the map. And the question that we need to be concerned with right now is, how do we stop this? How do we stop the bleeding? How do we stop further
so do you think,
illegalities and violations?
Do you think down the line, given the number of Israeli casualties so far, that could actually inspire there to be greater international effort to finally try and get some sort of resolution to this?
I hope so. I hope this is a wake-up call. I hope this was a serious alarm in all of our heads, all over the world. I hope the West will understand that by giving Israel this carte blanche, impunity above the law, the exception of every rule, things will not do. By trying to bypass the Palestinian issue, as happened for the last so many years, nobody is interested. We signed, as you know, 30 years ago, the Oslo Accords. We committed to all the commitments of the Accords, including negotiations and international resolution. And the world told us, the US-led international community, they will deliver the two-state solution. The world did not lift a hand throughout the last 30 years when Israel made mockery of all these agreements and all international provisions and resolutions. What I am trying to say, this is an opportunity for everybody to understand that the Palestinian people ain't going anywhere, that the Palestinian people have the right to defend themselves, that the Palestinian people for 100 years now, and for another 100 if it needs to be, will continue struggling for their legitimate rights. And you've seen Trump and the trying of liquidation of Palestinian statehood, nationhood, self-determination. You've seen the dissipation, and you've seen the undermining of even the talk of a Palestinian state over the last years. And therefore, this is an opportunity to remind everybody, there is no way around this, Nick. There is no way around this. Israel's occupation has got to end. A Palestinian sovereign independent state with East Jerusalem as its capital has got to be established. The millions of Palestinian refugees have non-negotiable rights to return to their homes, properties, lands. And of course, Israel has got to respect all these rights. Now, how do we do so? By one simple word: equal application of international law.
Okay, so in the immediate future,
selectivity.
In the immediate future, Mr. Zomlot, when we're talking about what's about to happen and what needs to happen to stop it getting worse, we're hearing that Egypt is involved in some small way in mediation in trying to get people, some of those taken back home. What about the broader mediation that is required here to stop this before it gets as bad as it looks like it's going to get?
Well, we need three steps. The first step is immediate cessation of hostility by Israel and all these warnings. And that's why we, together with our Arab brothers and sisters, called for a Security Council meeting, so the Security Council takes its responsibility. That's why it's there and was established to resolve conflicts and to enforce international law. The second thing, Israel needs to be reminded by the international community that even as an occupying power, it has responsibilities, absolute, clear responsibilities. The first is to the protection of civilians under the military occupation, not targeting them as we have seen in the last few hours in Gaza, destroying total residential compounds. So the application of international law until we get to the third stage, when the world comes, not just the US, everyone comes like all other conflicts, and resolve it based on the global consensus. Enough of considering Israel, the exception, of playing political footballing, as I heard yesterday in Washington, of competing politicians in the UK and Europe who supports Israel more, of this dehumanization of the Palestinian people and the Palestinian struggle. In every interview I've done in the last day or two, there is such an attempt to put us in a certain corner that we are the ones who should be condemned. We are the ones who are always the instigator, when in fact, Nick, the military occupation, the colonization, the apartheid is the only instigator of violence, is the only instigator of all the reactions that you have seen. So this is an opportunity to call a spade a spade. This is an opportunity to focus on the root causes. And this is not an opportunity just to put bandages, because this is what the world has been doing, managing the conflict rather than resolving it.
Husam Zomlot, Palestine ambassador to the United Kingdom. Appreciate your time. Thank you.